Our next story is a mother's worst nightmare, losing the life of a child. But what makes this mother's story even more tragic is that it didn't happen once, but 3 times. And yet there is a happy ending here, and it comes from one of the most unlikely guardian angels you will ever meet. When Roy and Bernetta Rogers were married in 1971, they dreamed of starting a large family.
I wanted to have children of our own that we could raise and try to teach them the best way to live and that sort of thing.
I think the desire to be a parent comes from how you're raised, that family is the center, and family is what keeps everything together.
Sadly, their dream was not meant to be. Bernetta became pregnant 3 times, but each time the baby was born prematurely and died. The experience was devastating.
There's a place that you don't know will ever be filled. That love you have for a child that you can nurture and hold. And you reach a point that you know it's going to be a hole in your heart that nothing quite fills.
With so much love to give, it's little wonder that when a stray kitten wandered into their lives, Roy and Bernetta took him in.
He was very, very affectionate, very cuddly, very demanding, wanting attention, wanting to be petted.
They named the black kitten Midnight.
It seemed to adopt real well to our home and just settled right on in.
But instead of bad luck, this black cat brought the Rogers good fortune. Within a year of Midnight's arrival, Bernetta became pregnant again and gave birth to a healthy baby girl named Stacy.
You're so pretty.
I do believe that Stacy's birth was a miracle. I don't know that I can put into words how long we waited and how special that made her. That she was the one that was there for us, just waiting all those years.
Roy and Bernetta were extremely protective of their new daughter. As an added precaution, they installed a portable baby monitor next to her crib in the nursery.
We constantly monitor her all the time there. We were determined that nothing would ever happen to the baby.
Even Midnight seemed to be standing guard.
I don't know that he was being necessarily protective as much as he knew that this was something that was important to us. And he was always looking at her, always in the room with her.
And then, at the age of 6 weeks, Stacy became seriously ill. Bernetta took her immediately to her pediatrician.
They told me that it was a cold, upper respiratory type thing that was going around, and not to worry, that she would be okay.
That afternoon, after putting the baby down for a nap, Bernetta went downstairs to join her parents, who were visiting from out of town.
Well, okay, I think she's down for her nap now, so we'll have a chance to talk.
Moments later, Midnight ran into the room.
She's gonna be doing all right now, so.
And he came and he jumped in my lap, and he jumped down, he jumped back in my lap.
What on earth do you want?
He was pretty persistent. He obviously wanted me to do something, but I really wasn't interested.
Go away.
Midnight ran upstairs, and suddenly, Bernetta and her parents heard a terrifying sound coming from the baby monitor.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh.
It was a screech, wail, scream, cry. It was frightening enough that I jumped out of the chair and ran upstairs.
Bernetta rushed into the nursery to find Midnight moaning and hissing into the baby monitor.
And he's sort of leaning out over the bassinet, and I immediately looked at the baby, and she was gaspy and her color was blue. I was extremely concerned because I really, at that moment in time, thought I was going to lose her.
Bernetta rushed Stacy to the hospital, where the baby went into full respiratory failure. Fortunately, she had arrived in time for doctors to save the child's life. It was only after arriving home that Bernetta realized the miraculous extent of Midnight's actions.
Cat saved your life.
First, the cat was able to detect that the baby was in trouble.
I'm not sure that he knew exactly what it was, but he knew it was something that if I didn't pay attention to was going to be catastrophic.
Next, Midnight tried to alert Bernetta that something was wrong. And when that failed, he turned to modern technology, somehow knowing that the monitor could be used as a distress signal.
So I do think it was a series of maybe small miracles leading up to the biggest miracle of all, is that this cat actually saved this baby's life for us, and there's no way we can repay him.
Today, the Rogers family lives in Kansas City, Missouri, where Stacy has grown into a very healthy 12-year-old.
Midnight is a good friend. I love him dearly because he's always been around for me. I don't really know how to describe how it feels to have your life saved by a cat. You feel the same as anyone else would. You're happy to be able to meet him and have him around for a long time.
I consider us to be very blessed, not only to have Stacy in our lives, but that for whatever reason, we were given certainly a second chance by the help of a cat to enjoy this child and watch her grow.